Mitch, you were texting me last night while I was over at the field house. And that game I saw, the first one was Beechwood up against Cuyahoga Heights. Heights ended up winning that one. They pulled away in the second half. But you texted me your you were kind of in a panic over the first round matchup of the Big Ten tournament between Ohio State and Wisconsin over at the United Center. And I'll give it to you. Ohio State was up 18 at halftime. They opened up to a 24-point lead, and
27.
then 27-point lead, and then Wisconsin got a bit tricky, cut it down to what, 5 points, and then that was the end of it. So Ohio State moves on, but there were some clear and cut issues in the second half.
Yeah, Ohio State in the first 25 minutes of that game, Mitch, looked like they could potentially be the best team in the Big Ten. And this is coming from an Ohio State fan who's been very critical of them all year and also gambled against them in 9 of their last 10 regular season games. And I think Ohio State forgot you got to play a full 40 minutes because the last 15 were absolutely abysmal. They went scoreless from the 11-minute mark all the way below the 5-minute mark. And Wisconsin then went on a 19-2 run. They cut it to a 2-point or a 5-point game. And Mitch, I was sweating because I just couldn't enjoy a nice game. I thought Ohio State, I thought, man, this is good. The young Buckeyes are looking good. They have to win 5 to win the Big Ten tournament. I don't think that's possible. Crazier things have happened. It's March, but it was just, I was sweating. I was so nervous. It was rough, but it was good to see Ohio State get revenge on a team they lost to earlier this year. They move on now to face Iowa, which is one of the teams that got a first round bye. The winner of this then will advance to play a team that got one of the 4 double byes in the Big Ten, Big Ten tournament. So we'll see. I just don't know if Ohio State got trounced by Iowa the first time, and hopefully this is just not like what the Big Ten championship game was against Iowa women for the Ohio State women. Then again, Caitlin Clark is not on the Iowa men's basketball team. So
Yeah, but even then, I'm sure they could beat some of the Buckeyes on here. And no disrespect. I mean, there were a number of good games that were played last night. You had Sewing, who had a good game. Sam McNeil came off the bench, scored 17. It was just some of those games. I mean, Bruce Thornton, especially, he had a good first half, 15 points. He had a rough second half where he just kept turning the ball over, not getting great shots, missing free throws. I don't think they beat Iowa this coming week, but crazier things have happened. We'll see if
they
Ohio State
also
can. Go ahead.
Felix Akpara, Mitch,
Yes.
a name
Yes.
we were not familiar with because we have Zed Key. Well, 2 weeks ago, Zed Key announced he was out for the season with shoulder surgery.
Yep.
A tough loss for Ohio State, but I mean, Mitch, this goes back to last year. The amount of times Zed Key would leave the floor holding his shoulder. It happened against Purdue this year, early on in the season in Columbus, where he left the floor. His shoulder popped out of place. It was inevitable he was going to have something done. Well, he got it done. And now someone like Felix Akpara, Mitch, someone we haven't seen play a lot. Last night, he made a difference. This is a guy all of a sudden, Mitch, averaging almost 2 blocks a game. He's over 1 block a game, but I mean, he has been a very pleasant surprise. He's another young Buckeye that you just wonder, man, maybe this team's so young. I know Bryce Sensabaugh is a stud, a phenom. I think he tied the record for most big time players of the week or month award winners in Big Ten history. Does he come back? Is this Ohio State team really good next year? We'll have to wait and see, but it's just kind of nice to see these new faces coming off the bench. And Mitch, you saw it throughout. You're going to continue to see it throughout every conference tournament game for some of these teams. And it's what makes March Madness fun. And some people, Mitch, not me, but some people think conference tournament basketball is more entertaining than March Madness as a whole. Obviously, March Madness, the first 2 days are just chaotic and you love it. But conference tournaments are fun because you see these teams play each other for what, the 3rd time this year. And, somebody like Seton Hall that had beaten DePaul twice this year. And then DePaul beats them by a point, a 9-22 team that had lost 12 straight games in a row.
How much that set you back?
I'm still hurt a little bit.
We're not going to talk about it. We're not talking about that, but we are talking about it. Some other things on here.